Welcome to the Heroic Tide. Welcome to the Heroic Ties. I'm Jeff with the Halcyon Masters, and this is the story of Churnwalker. We set the stage for this video with our overview of the Halcyon and the Churn. I'll link the overview above, but for those that are all caught up, let's hit the intro. The story of the Churnwalker originates over 100 years ago in Githea. During this time, Githea was guided by powerful guilds, including the Mage Guild, the Scholars Guild, and the Cartographers Guild. The charter of the Cartographers Guild is to explore the unknown. This is no easy task in the world of Vainglory, as it's covered with the wild and deadly energy of the Churn, with only pockets of calm. Martin Walker is one of the Cartographers Guild's pro players. His work includes research into the history of dragons and the Churn. He is Vainglory's Jacques Cousteau, or Captain Ahab, fearless and willing to explore the unexplored. At his own expense, Martin Walker had a self-contained suit built specifically to explore where no Githian has gone before, into the heart of the Churn. With the suit constructed, his first exploration is into a Churn-infested volcano located in the Seven Islands. Let's take a second and hear Walker's own account of the experience.
I traveled alone into that heart of darkness, and I am unashamed to admit that I was terrified. All was silent while the Churn stalked me like a predator, sniffing at my fear. And then it began to speak. I heard its whispers in the small hairs on my neck, uttering a language I have never heard. When I spun to see what had whispered, I saw nothing. Soon, it was inside my mind, replacing my own language, so that my thoughts spooled out in these strange syllables. Ebet, Ikro, Ido, it demanded, and somehow I knew to respond aloud with my own name.
While terrified of the Churn and the mind-blowing effects it had on him, Walker witnessed wonders beyond his wildest imaginations. Within the volcano, rock turned to soil, which turned to jungle, and the jungle was home to monstrous creatures, such as a pigeon that was the size of an eagle, and a flower that once plucked from the ground replanted itself. Walker admits he could have wandered forever in the Churn's endless wonders. However, as he approached the heart of the volcano, he was overtaken by a Churn storm. So powerful, the storm almost carried him away, except he was able to grasp a palm branch just in time. While the dangers were the same as a hurricane, it also affected his grasp on reality. Here are Walker's own words about what happened within the storm.
In the Churn storm, I experienced a most strange phenomenon. I saw visions of myself reflected in the fog and dust all around me. So disturbing were these visions that I couldn't bear to not embody them. In this one thought, I felt in my body a painful buckling, a sensation like all of my bones breaking, folding in on themselves, and then unfolding again into another of the visions. In this way, trespassing from vision to vision, I managed to make my way toward the visible sky. As my men pulled me by the arms to safety, I heard the whisper insist, Ikro vive shavod. I am told that I responded, Oida vistishad. I do not remember this, nor do I have any understanding of this phrase.
The final exchange between Walker and the Churn likely translates into, "You will not leave," with Walker responding, "I will return." As a quick side note, if you are interested in learning more about the language of the Churn, Xscoundrel has a great video that deciphers the text. I'll put the link above, and now back to the story. Walker's fellow explorers surmised that that would be any man's last journey into the Churn, given the horrors that they witnessed. However, it was the tip of the iceberg for Martine Walker, and the beginning of an obsession. To explore deeper into the churn, Walker started on Mark II of his suit, most notably adding the pulley and chain system. This contraption is designed to anchor and assist his movement in the event of another churn storm. Walker went back into the churn. It is difficult to track how long his subsequent expedition lasted, because time moves differently in the churn as it does in the calm. What seems like only a short excursion for Walker was months to his friends, fellow explorers, and family. During this time, however, Walker was able to explore vast areas of the churn by perfecting the ability to trespass. By trespassing, he could move anywhere the churn infested. With this talent, Walker recorded a complete map of the wells of power. His discoveries were truly amazing, but the monetary and personal costs were mounting. Every time Walker submerged, he'd leave some of his humanity behind and became increasingly obsessed and one with the churn. When he surfaced again, the calm appeared strange and he had difficulty remembering how to speak in Githian. Replacing his native language was the whisper of the churn. His colleagues in the Cartographers Guild grew concerned for Walker's well-being. Walker brushed off their concerns, focusing more on his findings and their potential value to Githia. Here's an example from Walker himself, which highlights his obsession and separation from the calm.
I must make these notes before I submerge again, for I forget more and more the language of my birth. I hear the churn whispering in and out of the calm now. The whisper is my only companion, or perhaps in either instance, there is only one living world for me now. For I am the churn, and the churn is mine, and I will not stop my work, never.
While self-funding his expeditions, the leaders of the Cartographers Guild now dismissed his findings and started to discredit his name. Beyond the damage to his professional reputation, a more severe consequence of losing favor with the Guild is that Walker's family lost favor in Githia. They were left penniless and abandoned. This is a good place to point out that all the accounts above are from letters sent from Martine Walker to the Cartographers Guild. The tone of his notes shift to anger and resentment. In his first act of defiance, Walker donates his entire personal collection to the Glass City. For a guy that's one with the churn, he really didn't have too much foresight on the city's longevity. While in the Glass City, Walker submitted himself to an examination by the city's physicians. Once his suit was removed, they discovered his flesh had changed, and the suit may not have been as sealed as Walker believed. The trace amounts of churn that seeped into his suit inoculated Walker against the fatal effects, but began to physically change him. I'd like to pause again and question, how would Walker not have noticed this before? Did he not take off the suit in a decade? And also, how would he then go to the bathroom or eat, or just imagine what he smells like?
How do you not smell that?
Okay, this is not about picking apart the lore as much as telling the story. Let's get back to it, Jeff. 90 years after his first expedition, a new guildmaster took over the Cartographers Guild and refused to publish Walker's work. In fact, his work was purged from the record. Maybe because no Githian lived that long, maybe because the work appeared to be insane. Either way, this pushed Walker into the deep end, and he cut ties with Githia, calling them swine and swearing revenge. Walker now looked at the world from the perspective of the churn, as he is more of legend than he is man. In his final excerpt, Walker owns his transformation into the Churn Walker.
So I am a monster, they say, the world over. And perhaps ide ikre kio ve braka. For my name fades even from my own memory. Along with my wife's voice, the laughter of my son, the taste of my mother's baked clams.
And welcome to our video on the churn. The underlying source of conflict and power in the world of Vainglory can be attributed to the Halcyon and the Churn. In our last video, we explored the power of the Halcyon and its influence on people, culture, and civilizations. Now, let's turn our attention to the Churn. Intro.
If it is a monster they want, then decree the scarred folly.
Wanting nothing more than revenge, the Churn Walker bides his time to surface once more, to lay waste to those that wrong him. The Churn is a mystery. It appears the time enigma, might be close
drizzled with
as a rumor of civil war
It is
in
a
Githia,
destructive force,
a technological
which at the same
revolution in
time
Glass
creates
City,
new life.
and a young
It can
Storm
weaken
Queen
one's
are
body
tipping the
or
balance of
grant
power
great
in the
strength.
calm.
The Churn will whisper
Churn
terrible
Walker must
thoughts
feel the
or
time is
profound
right
truths.
to make his move.
The
as
last
he has
part is the most
reappeared on
interesting,
Halcyon form.
because there is evidence the Churn is sentient with almost cosmic awareness. Chainsaw, one of the SCMC developers, stated, "Sometimes the Churn itself comes to life," supporting that this wild energy has a consciousness. Before we dive too deep down that rabbit hole, let's first talk about its impact on the globe. The world of Vainglory is described as a planet devastated by the Churn. Only pockets of calm exist where many of our heroes originate. Looking at Walker's map of the known world, you can see these pockets of calm in the surrounding areas infected by the Churn. These Churn-infested areas are home to wild jungles and ferocious beasts. The plants and animals living in these areas are bigger, faster, stronger, and significantly more dangerous than their counterparts in the calm. Walker's first expedition was into a Ebet, Ikro, Ido.
Oida, Jeff with the Halcyon Masters. And welcome to our video on the Churn. The underlying source of conflict and power in the world of Vainglory can be attributed to the Halcyon and the Churn.
The names, they'll be in the stream.
Yeah, but they are not doing
Cool. When you're ready.
Put the base sitters as last pick, by the way.
Yeah, that's
That's a
exactly
good
what I
idea.
did. Didn't I? They are like on the bottom, so they're gonna be last pick, right?
Yeah. They basically pick random heroes. Few moves.
Okay. Okay, let's start this before it gets toxic.
Yeah, let's
Before
go.
we look. People are not getting waiting.
Alright, which team is the favorite? Because I don't know these players.
I don't know them either.
Okay, I know all the players. We have Catfighter and Touchy Shark. They're gonna play they are the team 7, so they are the third match.
But I mean, like from these two teams, who's the better team?
From these two teams, this is a close one. Except Sam is gonna be like surprised because he was not prepared for this.
They sound good.
But they are good. They are good. I cannot sit here on stream and say that they are bad, obviously, right? So.
And what picks are you expecting in the lane? Because they're supposed to go for single target damage heroes. Oh. Just dropped some. Single target damage heroes.
It's gonna be.
Playing a hero like Samuel or Varia doesn't really make sense in this scenario.
True,
I
yeah.
think it's kind of surprising with the Grumplaw on lane. I have to say.
They might switch.
Like that. Yeah.
They might switch.
Cruel seems like a good idea in jungle. You should be able to dominate the jungle in the zone. And I'm expecting a Ringo or a Malene or something in lane. Those are pretty much the two best single target damage heroes.
A Sky maybe?
I mean, Sky, if you go weapon Sky, it could be fine, but A Ringo destroys a weapon sky.
Yeah, there is gonna
Yeah, there's Malin. Idris is gonna be bad early game, but it's gonna be better late game. I think Idris is not a
Yeah,
good
it's
pick
gonna
because
dominate.
Idris is gonna get wrecked in
Do
lane.
they have late game though? When do they really have the opportunity when they have 7 minutes to fight for themselves and like get the lane?
And when do the teams win? When the Fang Crystal is destroyed?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
so you have to go for late game here. So. Even if you dominate. Well, if you
So,
dominate hard
Erica-
enough early.
So Erica, how does the third person then work? Exactly, you explained to the viewers just the third person for Bloody Vampire and Bob. What exactly do they do? What's their role?
They are just there for decoration to keep the players from not getting kills to finish
Okay.
the task. And
Okay.
they make it possible for us to have a draft so they choose their heroes accordingly. Think a little bit smart about it.
Who's casting? Are we casting with 3 people?
Yeah, just the three of us.
Really? Casting with 3
Yeah.
people is really hard, you know that, right?
Yeah, it is.
Everyone is gonna be talking all the time.
No, you guys just talk. I'll just button in between. Don't worry about me.
Alright. Damn, look at that Flicker skin though. Oh, baby, Genie Flicker. I've never seen that skin before. I didn't even know it existed. What?
Gliding is pimped out with basically all the skills.
I got myself loads of money.
This is our skin person. This is our
Jeez. Genie Flicker. Yeah, unfortunately, he's gonna be staying at the base, so we won't really be able to see how the skin looks like.
No.
This kind of stuff. Alright. Get into it.
Alright.
Malin is gonna completely smash that Idris. I mean, it doesn't really matter how good that Idris is or how bad the Malin is. If you lose against an Idris in lane as a Malin, then you suck. Like, you just suck. So I'm expecting domination from...
Yeah. I think it's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be hard for the Eagles.
Cruel didn't get a storm guard banner. Cruel's build is a little...
That's a bit of a bad
Going
one.
for the weapon power, I actually thought the Eagles would go.
I think he's gonna go full burst damage. Late game.
Cruel's build is a little weird. You're not supposed to go for a build like that in jungle. Especially not if you're in a 1v1. That Gromjaw could have easily secured the barrier 3 and he shouldn't have gone back, he should have played more aggressively.
Yeah, he could have pushed him away from his campaign. You're right.
And obviously Malin is destroying this Idris in lane. He should poke him a lot. He should poke him way more. Like right now, yeah, not right now he's poking him very yeah.
Oof, just missed.
Right now I would say that A-side is gonna win, but obviously you don't know what's gonna happen later. A-side definitely won this draft.
Yeah. I'm a bit messy right now, but 7 minutes.
Oh, let's see what's gonna happen here at the bottom. See who gets it.
There is no way that this crew should be able to secure that. He's probably gonna use his B and then the minion is gonna be one hit and then Gromjaw is gonna secure it. Oh,
There
he
you go.
got it! He got it. Nice here. Gromjaw was too greedy. He went for the Storm Guard proc, but he did the exact thing that I
Oh, they're fighting hard here.
Oh, they should not be fighting.
Why not? You can fight anytime. I think the Gromjaw wins against the Cruel in the really early stages of the game. But once the Cruel gets a little defense against the Gromjaw, he should be able to 1v1 him.
That's in big trouble.
Like right now, as I said, Gromjaw out damages Cruel. But once Cruel gets
Should
just
jump.
a
Yeah,
couple items, then Cruel will win.
he should have jumped earlier onto that healing strength.
He doesn't have the ability to throw shots until the shot actually opens. So
Check what's happening.
Can't he go back?
unless he dies.
Wait, is he not allowed to portal back?
Well, we kind of know. Except, I think it's the laner actually that are not allowed to go down to the jungle.
No, I mean, are they not allowed to
Yeah.
port back to home?
That's usually.
So they can port back.
Otherwise it wouldn't.
Oh, kill!
Oh, what the? Wow! So many knives. So
God.
much vision. Going home to the base.
Either
Malin-
that person had lag or something else happened
That
there.
Malin got smashed. He got completely wrecked by that Idris. He took all the hits from the B and he died without even using his flask. Feels bad, man.
kind of missing out because I was.
Here we go again on the bot lane.
It's just.
They want to fight. They don't
Rule
really
should
go
be
for
able
it.
to 1v1 him now, but he's not stutter stepping. Oh, he used his B. He's gonna lose now. He should have kept his stacks before using his B. When you use your B on Cruel, it's basically like your last call to survive. If after you use your B and you don't kill the enemy, you pretty much die. Because you have no more sustain, you don't deny damage from the enemy. Because your B stacks on the enemy reduce the enemy attack speed and his crystal power. So it's really good to maintain those stacks while fighting. And you will also get more lifesteal. Stack Cruel and a big mistake there.
Here we go, they're gonna fight.
Pretty even. Regardless of B sides taking the first kill, it's pretty even. Cruel and Gromeh are fighting. They're both not stutter stepping. What is going on?
This is what happens when you have a guild tournament.
Cruel's definitely gonna win, as you can see, because he saved his B. The same would have happened if he saved his B the last time as well.
I think he must have heard you, Hells. Must have learned from his mistake.
Yeah, he definitely learned from his mistake. Doing a lot better now. Grace is also having a very fun time in base, I think, as well. It's a lot of scout traps now.
And yes, it's all not good.
And how is Malin losing against Idris? What is going on? Like, I expected this Malin to destroy this Idris in lane, but he's not even winning, he's pretty much losing. He hasn't killed him yet. No, look at that, he almost died again.
Oh, almost died.
Either that Idris is really good, but that Malin is just doing too well in this game.
He's taunting him at the tower. I think Gromeh wants nothing to do
Rule
with
got a
Cruel.
breaking point. Alright. He wants to win those 1v1s with those stacks. He's not going to be able to stack up though, but I mean, the idea is good, I guess. You should have just gone for a more aggressive early game item like a sword blade, a sword mask, or something else. Breaking point is not, you're never supposed to go for breaking point first because he can't stack it. He doesn't have enough damage to stack it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the fight is probably gonna last like 30 seconds between Gromeh and Cruel because they're both so tanky.
Here we go.
That's not a good idea.
I think Cruel should win it. Oh, the damage from
Oh, he won't be able to win it. He's a Gromeh.
Oh, wait. The damage from the cube is insane.
Is he gonna get away with it?
What is he doing?
Alright. 3 kill for the Gromeh right there.
I think he could have got out.
So in 7 minutes, they are no.
Oh, here comes the kill.
Idris going for. Oh! Idris gets the kill. It's a very well timed B by the Malin.
Yeah.
Man, I really just want this Malin to kill Idris, like for real. We're at the 7 minutes mark.
Almost, yeah.
We're gonna see some rotations now. It's gonna get way more interesting. Cruel's already in the lane. At minute 7. Ganking a Malin is not the easiest thing to do. Everyone is in the lane.
All Gromeh has to do is just grab one of them and shove them in the tower. And should be a good fight for them.
Bruh. Malin, what is that positioning? Come on. Malin has to dodge the Idris B. Malin doesn't dodge Idris B.
Shot on Malin, a good item to stop.
Ooh, dead.
It's decent. I mean, it's pretty good against Cruel. But, well, actually not in this scenario because this Cruel is not tanky at all. But it's good if the enemy builds a lot of HP and they're tanky. I would have gone for Shadow Glass in this game because then he would have dealt way more damage against the Israel. This Gromeh is pretty much carrying the A side right now.
Yeah. What do you think, Hells, about the Gromeh maybe going utility build? You know, just
utility.
Like semi-utility and semi-damage. You know.
I mean, utility is not really good in a 2v2. Like, you could go for a Crucible or something, but Crucible for 2 people is not really worth it. So he the thing he has to do is just build build some tanky items. He has to get an Atlas as well, because Atlas is good against both enemies. And just straight up damage. But Atlas is very important in this game. Full sweep also sounds like a good idea, just to be able to slow this Idris. So yeah, I guess you should go for Atlas, full sweep, and then some weapon damage. They're just playing Battle Royale right now in the lane. No one is taking their jungle. B-side has... Wait, does B-side have vision in that bush? Oh, I think they don't. They misplaced that camp. I mean, it happens to me all the time, so I can't really blame them for that. Runs about a little bit of defense, not quite enough yet, but... I feel like this Gromeh knows what he's doing, and this Cool has no clue what he's doing.
Yeah, I think he's just getting kills by luck.
It was not for an alternating current. I prefer to just go for straight up Shadow Glass, but alternating current is also a decent idea if you're just basic attacking a lot. If you go for Shadow Glass, your B will do insane damage earlier on. Like you'll have more burst damage, but less sustained damage. I mean, burst damage is good against the Malign, but sustained damage is good against the Gromeh, and he would rather kill the Gromeh, I guess, so he went for the sustained Crew got a lot of defense though. Some weapon defense. I feel like this crew is gonna stack up on defense, and the Idris is gonna get 4 offensive items, and they're gonna do like a hyper carry game.
Yeah, tank it.
What I really want to see is B-side giving all the jungle farm to Idris as well, and getting this Idris to 3 or 4 items as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I think that's their. I think that's how they can win.
But who do you think is probably gonna end up winning the match? Which team?
B-side, because I feel like the skill gap between this Idris and Malign is too big. Yes. I don't think it really matters that like, how the Gromeh is or whatever. This Idris is gonna solo carry this game.
Yeah, I think the same thing as well.
The only thing that they have to do is build defense on Cruel, and the game is won. Because this Malign ain't carrying the game. He got a Dragon's Eye. His build is terrible. I don't really want to say that as a caster, but his build is terrible.
Yeah.
They should be able to get this.
If they can just get the turret, that would be good.
The crew could have just tanked the turret and they would have gone.
Yeah, just get out of there.
That would have been the right call there. Man, this Grace is having too much fun in the base. Like, holy moly.
That's like a million wards right there, mines.
I don't know if I should ban her after this game because obviously.
Okay, well at least he's going for it. Cruel. The gold miner.
Who's going for the gold
Riding
miner?
vampire is really sticking still.
Gromeh has no idea what's going on. He could have easily stolen this with a stone. That was a good call by the Crow. Got a sneaky gold miner off 400 gold for him and for the Idris. The Idris went for a Spellfire? What? Why did he go for a Spellfire? I was... Okay, so for everyone watching, I'll explain this right now. Spellfire and Frostburn are trash items on Idris because they nerfed Idris, I think, a couple patches ago, it was like a couple months ago, where Frostburn and Spellfire don't trigger with his basic attacks anymore. Like, I remember when Frostburn was a broken item on Idris because every basic attack would slow the enemy, but that's not the case anymore. The only way to trigger Frostburn and Spellfire now is by using your B. So it's useless. It's literally useless. And the crew already has a poison ship, so it's literally a wasted item. And on top of that, they even nerfed Spellfire. Why the hell would you go for a Spellfire?
He obviously didn't read the patch updates.
He didn't read the patch updates, he didn't read what changed it.
He's still gonna kick ass though.
This guy has been out of the game for maybe 3 months.
Ooh.
He just came back last week. So I don't think he has actually read the new patch.
Hey, the Gromeh got an Atlas, just as I indicated. That's a good item. But as I said, the Malign is not gonna have enough damage to carry this game.
No, I don't
Gromeh
know.
just did go for an Atlas.
Malign seems to be going for the wrong items, I think.
Well, if he gets to late game, if he gets like a broken mid and other stuff, he will be able to stack his Dragon's Eye if he just stays in the fight. And then it will be a good fight, but I feel like the game will be over by then until he has like 3 or 4 items with a defense item. Probably not gonna happen.
So Erica, we got 8 teams, eh?
We got 4 matches.
Idris went for Dragon's Eye. So he's gonna stack up as well. Idris should just sell the Spellfire and go for a Broken Myth. That's the best call for him right now. If he gets a Broken Myth, the game is probably over. I mean, there is no way that this Malin can outdamage the Idris if Idris gets a Broken Myth. Malin got a Fountain? Man, these guys are breaking the meta. I love it. Malin got a Fountain. What the hell? Alright, let's get it, boys. Malin breaking the meta. Learning while casting right here.
Hey, you're not doing too bad, also. That should be interesting.
The Idris is going for more attack speed overall. I'm curious as to which attack speed item. Is he gonna go for the double outstanding current build?
You don't think he's gonna go for the bonus?
He's probably gonna get a Sorrow Blade or something with 3 attack speed items.
Yeah, I think he'll go for a Poison Shift as well. Imagine if he goes for Spellfire and Poison Shift. That would be like the 300 IQ build of the game.
It's gonna be special. You can tell us that. Hey, maybe.
I wanna see that Spellfire Poison Shift special. Honestly, I wanna see him pull it off.
Okay, our pushing in here.
Oh, Malin.
Hey, when does... Oh, Kraken already spawned, right? I thought Kraken spawned at 15 minutes. They changed that?
Yeah,
I remember back in the 3 days, Kraken would spawn at 15 minutes. Is it 12 now or something?
yeah.
I think so.
Wow,
12 or
that
13
sucks.
minutes.
We don't play much to
No, of course. You can't play Twitter.
I haven't played that in months.
Oh, is he gonna fight her? B-side has 2 infusions and A-side doesn't have any infusion. B-side has to fight her. They have to force a fight. Just ult someone and fight. Go for it. Don't retreat. Go.
I'm a wise guy says blue star. What? B-side match.
He is actually going for the Poison Shift Spellfire special, dude. Idris is actually going for the Poison Shift Spellfire special. The double mortal wound special, man. He's gonna pull it off.
Is that really work?
No, of course it's not gonna work.
So I remember the days when hybrid Idris was so good.
Maybe we're onto something new and
Yeah, we're onto something here. This guy is inventing new stuff, man. Oh, fighting. Fountain has already been caught. And as you can see, the B-side is just dealing more damage because they have 2 infusions and they have a better build. A-side can't really do much against this. It's nice damage by the Malin, but not really significant damage yet.
Right, could have almost.
He has 10 stacks.
Should have
though.
died.
He has been stacking his Dragon's Eye pretty well, but the Idris has 15 stacks. And the B side is making the right call by starting Kraken. A side can't really do anything against this because if they go there, they will just get wrecked by the Idris. Gromeh has an infusion, but Malin doesn't. Malin can get a Broken Myth, and I don't know why he hasn't shot yet because Broken Myth is a huge power spike for him, and
I
he got it now.
will go.
He got
They
the
should have
Broken
given
Myth.
up on that. They should have carried on.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a Storm Crown, but they should have just fought. Carry
Yeah, they
on,
should've.
fight. He got the poison shit.
Erica,
Yes.
I'm a wise guy asks, is Slay Demon gonna play?
No. Demon did not register. Hopefully
yeah?
next one. Hopefully next
Okay,
one.
cool. And then Catfighter 1214 says, hey, then say hi to HellsDevil from me.
Hello.
Smiley face, sorry.
With a
Okay,
double
fine.
wing.
With the ring.
Yeah, I'll send a double
That is
wing.
With a winch. Ayumi, the region is EU, bro. European region.
B-side has to push here. If B-side doesn't push this win, then A-side is gonna get items and they might actually make a comeback. When you're in a situation like this, you just have to do objectives. And the only objective that they can do right now is Kraken. So just start Kraken, force a fight, and win.
Yeah. If they get Kraken, then force a
Going
fight.
1-2 and he's making... Oh, what a mistake.
Oh.
This is
Wow,
record
many
1-2.
mistakes.
And now A-side has to do Kraken. This is pretty much their only chance to win the game. They have to do Kraken.
think
Because
they
I feel
will
like if they
go
do
for
Kraken, the
turret.
crews.
I think they will go for turret. Yeah, I don't think they will go
Yeah, if they went Kraken, they would have gotten the free kill on crew. Because I'm 100% sure that if they went Kraken, the crew would have overextended. They tried to kill the crew here too, and they got a turret, but it's not really worth it. I mean, they just got a turret, so what? If they would have gotten Kraken, they could have gotten 2, 3 turrets. But at least they did something.
They play really safe, I have to say. They are playing really
Yeah,
safe.
playing safe ain't gonna win you the game when you're losing.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
take risks.
If you play safe and they get tanked out, it's going to be a tough game for them at the end.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna see any changes in the builds. That poison shield maybe disappearing or
No. That's the poison shift spellfire special ain't gonna change. That's their way to win this game.
Yeah.
New meta.
Krul's definitely going for his third attack speed, I think.
He's gonna go for a bone saw, which doesn't really make. Okay, you got it. Which doesn't really make sense because he's not. I don't think he's gonna do much damage. He's gonna be able to destroy the.
Time.
He's gonna be able to destroy the Grumjaw, but I mean, you don't really. Well, you don't really need that because he doesn't have a lot of defense against the Melee. Look at wrecked by the Melee before he can even stack his stuff up on Grumjaw. The crew should have gone for stuff like a pulse weave, maybe even an atlas, or like defense, a lot of defense, and then this editors would have hyper carry.
Guys, we're like 30 views. 32 views.
Oh, they caught out the crew.
Oh,
That should be a free kill. And it is. And the editors is going for the 1v2. Is he gonna pull it up? The pulse weave, the poison shift spellfire special, is he gonna pull it up?
Krul's dead.
It doesn't look like
Krul's
it.
dead.
now they have to go for the crack. Now they
What?
have to.
Ooh.
They have to.
Almost.
They need
Got
to
that
end
kill.
this game. Yeah.
Man, B-side is just throwing this game. I didn't expect this. I said in the beginning of this game that B-side will win this 100%.
Yeah, dominate.
But they're going in 1v2 all the time. I don't really know why, but they have to stick together. They have to stick together and go in. Not 1v2, go in 2v2. And it's an easy fight. They outkill the enemies in fight.
But it's not over yet. I still have B-side.
Well, they're gonna spawn soon.
Kind
Well,
of a
spawn, so
favorites right
see what
now.
happens. Let's just hope Melina and Grumjaw doesn't overextend and just because they're feeling confident because of this.
Grumjaw is taking the Crystal Sentry. He's gonna get that buff. I don't know how much of the buff, but I think it's a decent buff. It looks like a decent buff. Beat him! Oh, he got him. Let's go. Do the combo. Boot him! A-side making plays here. Nice! A-side. Beautiful plays by A-side there. B-side is just getting out. Oh, baby!
Oh, my goodness.
A-side won.
They're just too aggressive, I think, in my opinion. They're just playing too aggressive. There's no communication.
Man, I'm so proud of my boys at A-side.
A comeback. A shocker.
Beautiful comeback. Beautiful. Like Grace looking.
I think Gray should jump in there with his mines.
Grace standing at the sidelines while Steven lost his game. GG, A-side winning, man. Whew.
Jeez.
Is this a best of 3 or
I think it's single elimination, isn't it, Erica?
Yes, this is a single elimination, so the team A is going forward to silver round, which is gonna be next Sunday.
Alright.
So we still got 3 or 4 more matches? How many more matches?
We have 3 more matches, and now it's gonna get like a little bit more exciting because now we are starting with like.
What do you mean?
bit
This
of
was like the
higher
most
tiers.
exciting match already.
Oh, this is a flipping good beginner
This was a
match.
sick match.
We thought this was going to be quick and over.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be an easy game for B-side, but then A-side, damn. Showing us how it's done. GG indeed.
So
Just let me know what the players' names are. Just put them in, and before you start, I'll give you the grade.
yep.
Just want to edit.
If I get the second teams online. So we are running like a little bit late, but not too much. It's like 5
That's okay.
minutes.
As long as you guys are okay with it.